It's Miles.
It's Trouble.
It's the Make It Make Sense podcast.
Yay.
And we're back, and I'm going to play this little clip right here. Diddy. So, what's going on with this guy? What's the deal?
His deal is up.
And look at that. Tr3bel predicted the future. Isn't that something?
I don't know if it was just me. You know, I heard a lot of information down the grapevine, and you know, you can start piecing information together and you can start noticing patterns.
Yeah.
With everything in life, it's about patterns. When you can learn patterns, you can start to really see things for what they are.
Yeah, and it seems it makes you wonder. We're only hearing sort of kind of, I don't want to say the funny stuff with the lube and all that type of stuff. Like that seems almost like a joke and silly, but once you start tying it back to us talking about the ritual, or you educated me about these type of ritualistic groups and them doing this kind of freaky shit, it's pretty sad, man. We were talking off camera about how some of the darker side of humanity, man, and it's thankfully we're trying to do we call it light work, right?
Yeah.
Which sounds, because I've heard light work using a different term, but we're talking about literal like vibration light.
Yeah, exactly.
And because there's a lot of darkness, man, and even I try to stay pretty positive and kind of keep things jokey, but man, it's some dark stuff out there.
Yeah, man. So I just feel like what I was saying, this whole Diddy situation, like how you just alluded to the lube and just the other stuff like that, like
Mm-hmm.
it's so much that'll never come out.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much darkness, like he said, that we'll never hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and thank God sometimes it's for the better.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that be going on sometimes be so wild. It's beyond your wildest imagination, because I think that as spirit, most humans at heart are good. You get what I mean?
I really like to think so, yeah.
So I think over the course of life, things, might taint people. Experiences might cause certain changes. But innately, people are good, and there's a certain level of evil that they won't necessarily comprehend being a thing. You know what I mean?
Being a reality, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that it is good that we are getting some exposure into some of the stuff that's going on, but I think there's a lot of it that we'll never know about. So,
Yeah, and I'm just kind of a little bit of a timeline I kind of put together about what happened. If for people that aren't aware or aren't following this at all, it looks like, kind of just to go over it real quickly, like back on the 25th of March, it says that's when they did that raid, and I guess that was his. I didn't realize it was two homes, so it was Los Angeles and Miami.
Yeah.
So they did that, and they said that was part of an ongoing investigation for sex trafficking, which I didn't know that was on the table.
And they're trying to put Rico in the case. Yeah.
Wow. And so that was on the 25th of March. May 17th, that's when that footage came out with him and what's her name? Cassie. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Hell of a bath towel, though.
I'm going to just say that. Why did that footage just randomly come out then?
That's a great question.
Where the hell had it been that whole time? Now, I just want to be very clear. I am in no way condoning his actions in that video. But if there's a video like that that's just out there, readily accessible to just be released like it was then, where was it this whole time?
Does that has to mean he probably paid off the hotel to suppress it?
So then the hotel just miraculously decided they wanted to release it?
Well, this has me thinking to that point. I don't know the answer. All that does sound really bizarre. It also, and this isn't my original thought, so I'm not going to take credit, but I heard someone say that it almost seems like they're like tainting the water for the jury, because how do you unsee that once you see that? Like, even if it wasn't part of the trial, it's there. It's like it strategically was released to show him being a piece of shit, to already have that in the jury's mind.
Yeah, like, okay. when we have conversations like this, you have to be completely impartial, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Diddy has been up to a lot of bullshit for a lot of years because a lot of people have been saying this for a lot of years.
Like this type of bullshit, the sex trafficking, or just business wise?
To a degree, I mean, we talking multiple people have said that they felt like he had something to do with Biggie with their own
Yeah.
proof.
Yeah, and that's been since '94 or some shit.
People have talked about many other people that are not nearly as big as the artists that we know of that he did dirty in many different ways. I was just watching something literally the other day about Carl Thomas, the singer that was signed to Bad Boy.
Carl Thomas.
Oh man, what's the song? Oh man, it's slipping my mind. Cause when you know the song,
Uh-huh.
oh God.
Was that his name? Was Carl Thomas, or do you have a different round?
Well, I don't know if that was a pseudonym or not. I ain't dig that deep. I think that's his name.
Carl. Okay.
But nonetheless, he was a really good singer, you know what I mean? And out of nowhere, his career stunted. Stuff like this, guys like Mace saying Diddy knew what was going on with Puff. And Mace was talking about how Puff used to put his kids as credits on certain songs, and they would get higher royalty cuts than the actual artist.
Yep. Yeah,
I might have even talked
you told
about
me
this.
about that.
Yeah, I might have talked about this on the other episode that we showed that we
Real quick, Carl Thomas, 52-year-old now. His song "I Wish."
That wasn't the song.
That wasn't the one. Rain, summer rain. I wish. I love my life. Emotional. I don't know. I don't remember this guy.
Dang, bro, there was one song
Dumpin'
in particular. Nah.
Rhythm.
Oh yeah, it was I Wish. It was I Wish. It was I Wish.
I wish. I wish I was a little bit taller.
I never met her at all.
Oh
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like Skilo better.
Slid.
Yeah. Remember
That
Skilo?
slid. Nah.
You know you know Skilo?
Nah.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's the I wish.
Nah, that song slide though. Like he basically the song is about how he meet this girl that's like the perfect girl. Just for him to find out that she got a dude already. And now he's like pissed off because he's like, I wish I never met you.
Yeah.
Like, why did I end in this situation? Now I gotta deal with this.
Hey, that's what we're doing wrong. We're not making songs about situations every dude goes through.
And then being real about it. Like, he wasn't like, fuck that nigga. He was like, damn, I'm more hurt that you put me in this situation. Like, you got Buddy out here looking weird. You got me out here looking weird. I wish I just never met you.
Crying in the car.
So nonetheless, I just want to say that, like, there is a history that you can see with bad boy artists all the way up until now. Like guys like MGK was signed to Bad Boy.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, he had a whole bunch of interviews. Well, I won't say a whole bunch of interviews, but he had a couple interviews for sure where he was speaking on how he wasn't necessarily happy with what was going on at Bad Boy.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
It's funny. Is that why he switched to a completely different genre? He's like, I get far away from this.
He said too much about Eminem, and he wasn't supposed to say that shit. And
Eminem sent him to punk land or whatever he's doing now. Pop land.
Eminem didn't do shit. They did shit.
Oh,
we just gonna
okay.
You can't
fuck with the king.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be real with you. I think he won that.
MGK. Yes, a lot of people think so.
A lot of people were trying to bash me for saying that. A lot of people I know, like people who consider themselves hip hop enthusiasts, because they were like, "Do you hear the lyrics? Do you hear the compound syllables and all of that?" Fuck that.
Everybody turns to an English teacher now.
Bro, MGK asked him. He said, "Bro, you got all of this money. Why in the hell is you still angry? Like, why are you still in the house writing all this angry shit? Like, and he worded it way better than I am. I ain't heard the song in a while, but." Bruh, he's penetrating like sore spots that I ask myself as a person who likes him and them as an MC. But at some point, bro, like, we gotta drop the act of you being this fucking psychopath. You know what I mean? Like, and he even did it. But Eminem himself talked about how we talk about deals and contracts you sign. There's a song that he has. And
oh my God! I already
look up.
The one where he's talking to the devil or whatever.
Yeah, but tell me why the fact that he's having this issue with the devil where he's arguing with the devil about not wanting to be Slim Shady again and rap about all of this shit, and he wants to just be done. And the devil goes, "Don't worry about it. I already got Dr. Dre on the phone."
Yeah.
And
then
Dr.
Dre's
Dre
on the track.
gets on the fucking track?
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting, man. I'd love to hear the story behind what the hell that was all about.
They're never gonna have stories like that. If you look that song up, every instance of that song being on YouTube, of it actually being put out by Eminem or anything like that, the comments are off.
Oh, yeah.
They know what they're doing, bro. But they're also telling you. Eminem just dropped a new album that I haven't listened to yet, which, in no disrespect, I just haven't had a chance to sit down and really delve into it. But the cover of it is like him shedding his skin or some shit like that, like, or the old him is dead, like.
Is it him in like in a body bag or some shit?
Yeah, or maybe that's what it is. I'm thinking zipper, whatever. But still, what are we seeing? Like, what are you trying to tell us? Like, it's all about symbols. It's all about that. And tying that back to the shit that Diddy's in, bro, he knows too much. He's been tied to so much. He's been single-handedly in a large portion of this modern era of hip-hop. You get what I'm saying? You think he, Mr. Life of the Party, doesn't know the secrets of certain people?
Oh, I think he knows all the secrets because you got to give it to him that him being infused for all these years with all these artists, and if half of all this nefarious stuff and all this weird shit's happening, none of it came out of his mouth. Like he is a vault when it comes to keeping secrets.
Yes. Yeah, I would say the secrets, but he does slip up and say shit where you be like, wait, what?
So even slipping though, I mean, maybe that's too much, and maybe he slipped too many times, and that's what's happening now. I don't know, but I think
he did. Literally, there's a one-on-one with him and Fat Joe where they're talking about just random shit, history, whatever. They bring up a statue that he has at one of his houses. I think it was the LA house. And it's a golden statue of a headless woman. He says, "Oh yeah, that's my homage to Kim Porter, his ex-wife who died."
A headless statue? How did she die from like a decapitation or something?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I forget exactly how she died, but it wasn't like that.
Okay.
But it's still a principle that you would say that is the homage to your deceased ex-wife.
Yeah. Yeah, very weird. He's definitely comes off like a weird dude. But yeah, I mean, so on that point, so that was only May that happened, right? There's so much to this story. So then on September 9th, so now we're getting a little bit more recent, he received a $100 million default judgment after failing to appear for a hearing to do with a sexual assault by Derek Lee Cardello Smith, whoever that is. I didn't even hear about that, so that got swept under the rug.
A lot going on.
And then now we're getting to the 16th. He was arrested in Manhattan Hotel. Why he was still in the U.S., don't know, but he was, and for sex trafficking, racketeering. And then on October 1st, so it's big gaps in between September 16th and then October 1st.
What I was telling you off air, so we can kind of like put a ball on this Diddy situation. What's happening right now is this. Whenever you get into Hollywood, you reach a certain point, they're going to offer you a choice. And they're going to say, hey, you either want to go to the big levels and you want to be the richest person you can be, and we'll make you the biggest star you can ever think that you will ever be in your life. It's going to be something you got to do for us to get there. But if you're willing to do it, we're willing to work with you. Or you can stay regular. And most people, just the regular person, it would be hard to turn down the temptation that you get.
Yeah.
There are a lot of rumors about different things that they do in order to get you, you know, to kind of commit. And it's not always some mystical, you know, like how people be like, oh, they must be doing seances and crazy shit, or they party
Yeah.
you and drug you, or and
Yeah.
sometimes they do get you fucked up, whatever. But
They almost use that as the perk to get you to want to stick around as the party.
yeah, like,
Mhm.
but also you have a situation like what Jay-Z said out of his mouth that he basically locked the door so Rihanna couldn't leave and locked her in the office with him until she signed. He said that out
Mm.
of his mouth.
Okay.
They were in there for hours. And ironically, he says, remember we talk about times and, you know,
Mhm.
how certain numbers matter and things
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
And the number 3 and any multiples of 3 are very important numbers in the
Yep.
way that their scheme works.
Mhm.
So he was talking about, oh yeah, and we didn't let her out until 3 a.m.
Mm.
Exactly
Mhm.
3 a.m. you let her out and she just happened to sign at 3 a.m.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now that sounds a little more nefarious to me. Somebody like Diddy, I think Diddy was very uh both ways. Like he'll get you with just all of the glitz and glamour. Come party with
Mhm.
me. Let me show you the life. Let me da
Mhm.
da 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 da. And then he had the other side where it's like he'll
Darker.
be aggressive and like because I think if this the person that you were just reading that they
Mhm.
just had this case with,
Derek
I'd
Lee
read
Cardello Smith.
yeah, I
Mhm.
guess. I don't know if it was him,
Yeah.
but I heard a story where there was an artist who was talking about how Diddy basically had a video of them getting it on,
Okay.
and what he did to lure him in it was show him a video of Diddy doing it, or no, not even Diddy, of this other guy named Stevie J doing it with some other prominent rapper. And he was like, see,
Mm.
it's not just you that'll be doing it. Oh, everybody doing this. So
Mhm.
just understand this is a part of what it take to get to where you're trying to go.
Mhm.
Just to do it and then shelve them and not really ever put them on. So then the dude's kind of like, I really just gave this up for what?
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
needless to say, there have been multiple stories like that.
Dude, and so check this out. This might
So
be who you're talking about because it says here through a Facebook post from Fox News, it says Derek Lee Cardello Smith, 51, a Michigan inmate, claims he and Diddy go way back and alleges that Diddy drugged and sexually assaulted him at a 1997 party in Detroit, and he won. He won the lawsuit. Diddy paid him 100 million something dollars.
I
Mm.
didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was a win.
It was a
But
win.
again, this is what I'm saying. This stuff, Diddy didn't just create this himself. He didn't come up with this idea himself.
Mm-hmm.
There was somebody that taught him. There were things that he's seen. And what happens is, like I was saying initially, is in order to get to those levels in that business,
Mm-hmm.
you're either gonna play that game at that nasty, nefarious level, or you're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna ever reach that level. And that's
Right.
what I be trying to get people to understand because the average fan can't see that. They
Mm-hmm.
look at it and say, well, he's rich. He's on everything. He's this. He's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And look at what the hell is coming out on the back end.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that
Yep.
somebody you really want to sit next to just because they've made a lot of money?
Right. Right. Yep.
But
That
the
and
fact that we can't separate as people is the part
mm,
that annoys me. It's kind of
because
like,
it,
yeah, go ahead.
it's because it's the perfect marketing. So that gets into marketing him as looking. You know, we all grew. I mean, I'm in my 40s. I remember growing up seeing him, Bad Boys for Life, and on airplane hangars, dancing in
Come
fucking
on,
baggy
bro.
windbreakers and shit. Like you seen him being rich and living the good life, quote unquote, for so long.
You don't know what he did to get it.
We only know now. I remember. So it's 2024 now. That shit was like 94.
Yeah.
That took that long to realize, for at least for me to realize, oh, all this bad shit was happening behind.
But see, uh, like you said, the marketing,
Mm-hmm.
what we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm gonna complete this first thought and then tie it to this so we
Mm-hmm.
can, wrap it
Yep.
to one piece here. Like, basically, in order to get to that level, you gotta play that game. You play that game, though, they're gonna tell you, hey, bro, play the game at your own risk. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you reach a certain level, you feel unstoppable. You feel untouchable. you do things. You might get somebody off here or there, and nobody ever knows about it. It never comes up. You might get somebody beat up. You might get their life ruined. You might do stuff like what you hear in the story from his old bodyguard, where he talked about there was this group of girls that were supposed to be singers. Diddy was like, yo, they talented, right? He had them in the studio, and the girls were talented, and he was like, yeah. So he told them that he needed to sign NDAs and sign a contract and da-da-da.
Yeah.
So the 2 of the 3 girls did it. 1 girl didn't want to do it. And he was like, oh, don't worry about it, baby. Like, you good. Like, whatever. She was like, you mind if I, step outside for a second? I got to go to the bathroom. A few minutes later.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, you girls, go with her. Whatever. Like, they leave the room, and he basically tell the other dude in the room, he's like, hey, yeah, she out of here. Like, she finna be drugged and on the first plane somewhere else.
Wow. The non-signee girl?
Yeah.
Wow.
The bodyguard says he got mad and was like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's somebody's fucking child, bro. Like, I know I'm your bodyguard, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
And he was like, mind your fucking business. Like, you're my bodyguard. Like, you don't speak on shit like this.
Wow.
So, I mean, bodyguards, this is where the idea of the sex trafficking comes from. This isn't the first story that I'm pretty sure that they've heard of things like this.
Yeah.
Mind you, they have video evidence on you. If you can go like Diddy and flex on that one kid having video of these 2 famous individuals getting it on and use that as leverage against him, you don't think they have videos of other people?
Oh, man.
This is how they win. This is how they play that game. This is why they walk around and it looks so great. But this is why they got to do business with certain people sometimes. They might have access to some shit that'll destroy everything you built with one click of a button. So now they're partying up. And this is how they fight for top position. It's not really an outwardly thing. It's the shit that goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
They'll just make them look like enemies in a certain way on the front end.
Damn, man.
So you take all of that forward. Boom. You got 50 Cent who's like reaming him a new one, and everybody's like,
how is
50
Cent? How is he so far out of the he's it's crazy how he's so separated and is going head on against this type of stuff.
This is why. So 50 Cent looks like this knight in shining armor. He's now set to take Diddy's place once Diddy leaves.
Oh.
Look at it. Diddy was doing all of the multi-mogul stuff, all of the big stuff. He had his own TV station. You get what I'm saying? And then 50 Cent, he's been in the movies for a while. He was a much better actor, so he got into acting, but now he directs. He has a show like Power. He now can then take that new place. He doesn't do it like Diddy, but he can take that new place of the black rich figure that now can give us the advice that they want us to get.
So he's
play the role.
He's the same type of dude, you think?
No question.
Wow.
You don't know. First off, I'm going to say this. We all know people who might like the same sex. Whatever. Generally, as a man, you don't know who that person is actually sleeping with.
Right.
You just know that they do what they do in their spare time.
Right.
You don't care.
Right.
So how the hell does he be having all this information?
Yeah, that's true.
Enough to do a whole documentary. And
did he do? Wait a minute, he did a documentary.
Yeah, I don't know if it came out yet, but it's about to come out on Netflix. A whole documentary on Diddy. I'm not even joking, bro.
So it's not the fact that he just does not like Diddy. You think it's all put in place to just discredit him and get rid of him?
Yeah, like, okay, I'm gonna point something out here for anybody who think I'm crazy.
Yeah, 50 Cent is so much funnier about it. Maybe that's the thing.
I don't hate 50 Cent. Like, his music is what it is. But the character that he's become in this era,
pretty hilarious.
Like, he's always been funny, but he's always been more real than a lot of the other rappers. Like, he's gonna say some shit that you be like, this nigga did not say that.
Which makes it hard to believe that he's cut from the same cloth as Diddy. If we're
I don't
finding
think
out
he's cut from the same cloth as an overall person.
Just in business.
Again, they're in the same industry. Look at the level that 50 has gotten to. You gotta accept certain shit.
Yeah.
Now, whether you're doing it in the exact same way as Diddy is beyond me. I can't speak on that because, again, I don't know what goes on at certain levels.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that when he was beefing with Ja Rule, 50 Cent that is,
Mm-hmm.
and Irv Gotti and Murder Inc. went down and they started facing all of these charges,
Mm-hmm.
Irv Gotti proved that on the records they had Curtis Jackson as an FBI informant.
Oh.
50 Cent. So how does nobody account for this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I know what I seen.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that I looked it up myself and I found that information.
Yeah.
Irv Gotti spoke on it.
Mm-hmm.
How did they randomly go down by the FBI and get charged with racketeering and all of this right as 50 Cent is reaching his peak and Ja Rule and him went back in the G, but Ja Rule was in a different part of the game. He had Ashanti. He was doing songs like that.
He was with like DMX, and didn't he hang with him too?
Kinda, but it was just more the way he sounded. They got that similarity. But Ja Rule he had respect in the streets, but he was also one of the few guys that in hip hop was able to make like club hits that was like, girls was dancing and singing to it.
Yeah. Somehow, if you listen to him singing, you're like, how the hell did he pull that off?
It
man?
Worked. I don't know, but he did it. You feel me?
Yeah.
But at that time, that was still gonna always make him some money.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, the record label that is behind him goes down, and everybody's getting arrested and going to prison. And
what was the label?
Murder Inc.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
And Irv Gotti, the leader of Murder Inc., say, hey, 50 Cent name was on that paperwork. Dame Dash doubled down to say that when everything was about to go down, somebody tipped Jay-Z and him that all of these places were about to get raided and things like that because they were all in the same building, them and Murder Inc.
Okay.
Rockefeller with what Jay-Z and them
Yeah.
because Jay-Z don't think he don't play no roles too.
Uh-huh.
So, needless to say, they were in the same building, whatever. They get wind that this is about to happen to Murder Inc. So whatever affairs they need to clean up, they need to clean up now. But Dame even said, who the fuck has that kind of information to tip us on this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, man. Wow.
So tie all of this back to what's happening with Diddy.
Yeah.
He reached his role. He reached his peak. He played his role. He got sloppy. He got too comfortable. He started doing shit that was now leaking and affecting the overall what they were trying to keep going.
Okay.
I personally think Diddy started having second guesses about the shit he was in. And he started doing little shit like creating his own TV channel and putting certain conversations on said TV channel that was actually very progressive for us as a culture.
Is that why he started going down the realm of love, almost to like where it seemed a little, as 50 would say, a little fruit popish?
I don't know about that, but what I do know is that there's a lot of people. R. Kelly told you this when he went down. I ain't the only one. Oh, and look at how crazy this sounded then, but now look at what's coming out.
Yeah.
Like, that's another massive person that the irony that we have jits that's 15, 14 that I see at the courts, 13, 11, 10. I heard a 10-year-old saying no Diddy.
Yeah.
You don't even know who Diddy is.
No,
But the fact that his legacy will forever be remembered in that vein now is insane.
It's tarnished forever.
So to think that they have the power to build you up this bad and tear you down this bad when they want to, because again, like I asked you with the video, where was all of this evidence before?
They
were had it.
Somebody was sitting on it.
They've been had it, but this is what you deal with when you're in this business and you reach that level. It's a nasty business. DMX talked about this before he passed. A lot of this shit happens.
Yeah.
This is why a lot of certain rappers like don't rock with a lot of other rappers. This is why Kendrick, I feel like, doesn't do a lot of features with a lot of other rappers because he might have accepted some of his own demons and did some of his own things, but there's certain shit I feel like he drew a line and was like, whoa, I would rather be out of the industry completely than that.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. Man. But it's still certain things, bro, where it's just like, hey, as they say, what's done in the dark will come to the light.
Yeah.
And what's happening is Diddy is now done. His time is up. They're gonna do whatever they gotta do, whether he actually does prison time or he gets what we said, the Epstein treatment, where he gets to, like we talked about in one of the other episodes, gets to leave prison for a few hours a day, go do whatever he wants, and come back. If he's ever gonna even go to prison, they just tell us he's in some high security prison and he's in.
Because all they got to do is stop talking about him, and people forget.
And that's what I'm saying. You're gonna go to the prison and see if he's there,
right?
But you can put him in some remote part of the world. He can still go live like a king. Nobody knows who he is. He just lives like a king.
How would we know? How would we know then? Because you mentioned that. Actually, a little sidebar before I forget. No Diddy. I think that Blackstreet should redo their song and make it No Diddy. Look it up. And also, you're saying that that 50. Oh, he just figured it out. Yeah.
I got it when you said it. It's just
you started humming it.
Yeah, exactly. I started picturing that shit. Like, Jesus.
Hey man, they could do a commercial or something. But how will we see if 50 is going to be the new figurehead? How will we know? What are the signs? Is he going to
It's already a huge sign. Look at how big they've made the show Power.
Because that's it. He
the show started off good, but literally anybody who still watches it, most of them are like, yeah, we just trying to get to the end. We just trying to hold out, but these characters are annoying. His writing is getting blah 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 blah.
Was that the homeboy that did the lie with the getting beat up by Jamaicans? Was that from that show? Jussie Moulette or whatever his name was. Do you remember that?
That was Empire.
Oh, Empire. That's right.
Yeah, that was Empire.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the show started off really good. It's just continuing. But again, it's the amount of promotion and marketing behind it after a point that they wouldn't be giving anybody else.
Right.
The fact that he miraculously has this whole Diddy thing ready to go and is gonna premiere on Netflix and all of these kind of things.
Man.
You know, like
just a complete. So probably a lot of his power or his replacing will be probably behind the scenes, like decisions and connections and that type of thing. That we won't see in the public too much.
When I say take his place, I mean take his place in whatever ranking system they have and whatever they've pledged their soul to.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Damn.
So whatever, like I pose this to people all of the time because I know I've mentioned it on this show, but when people win an Emmy or they win a Grammy, what do you hear them say? They say Academy Award winner.
Right.
An academy is a school, is it not? It's somewhere you go to learn something. Am I not?
It's
correct?
it's usually an organized type, almost like a company that you have to pay into and have connections.
So why are they getting Academy Awards for being good actors? Do you get what I'm saying? Why are they called Academy Awards?
Right. I don't know.
Because they have to go to the Academy of Sacred Arts and all of this other stuff that they have to do before they can become stars or be ready. This is how all of them can do the hand signals and know what symbols they can do and stuff like that. They have to go to school for this shit.
Jesus, man. Well, you heard it here first, man. I'm glad we got to that. So that's pretty much, for anybody that didn't know, that's where we're at now with this. I think the local psychic that I have here next to me probably predicted. He probably predicted a lot. We'll keep covering it and letting you know what we find. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, it's probably going to get a lot darker before it disappears. And I do agree. Eventually, once whatever needs to be done with him is done, it will disappear, and we'll never hear his name again.
I want to make one more prediction.
Okay.
This is completely outside. Well, I won't say completely outside, but this is outside of the Diddy thing overall. We've been talking about the age of Aquarius kind of as a touching point for the last couple of episodes in different ways. I want to say that I firmly believe that there is a change in the air. Like there's a pulse of life that's coming back where there was a long period of years that I've experienced, that I've talked to other people and they've experienced it recently, where it's like time has been
Just flying.
And you wake up and you like, oh shit, it's been a week. Like I done went through my whole week that fast.
Yeah, it's been my life for a while. Yeah.
So all of this is happening because, to my knowledge, we talked about timelines and things like that. A lot of them are converging, and that's a deeper topic for another conversation. But just a lot of them are converging, and we're getting back to the time that we need to be on. As human beings, we operate on timing. This is why we created time. Things like that. It's our way of organizing things. It's our way of helping our mind process and compartmentalize. So our bodies, our actions are based on timing. If you think about it, finding a routine for a person, they become automated almost to this routine. You get used to waking up, throw the bread in the oven.
Yeah. Don't even think about it.
Yes. You become automated because we are naturally timing based, routine, timing, doing it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And the more we become accustomed to it, the more disciplined we are with it, the more our body becomes accustomed to that.
Yeah.
But because of that, certain beings and powers that be knew that they can automate us to just be these beings that do this autonomous action without thought. But what's happening is there's so much upheaval that we talked about going on with the Age of Aquarius that it's breaking that time pattern up.
Okay.
COVID happens. Now people aren't doing the same things they were doing. They're in the house more. They're now looking.
They broke the spell
to a degree. But little things like that are happening that are disrupting the time sequence that we've been stuck on for a minute. So we're getting glimpses back into the time that we need to be on, i.e. breaking out of the matrix, glitching the matrix. So these things are gonna run their course naturally. But I think that it's accelerating. The powers that be know that it's accelerating, and they're trying to make this one last ditch effort to grasp everything they can from us to just push us down one hard last good time before we generally as a population wake up and start seeing shit again and calling it out. So I think that my prediction is within the next 5 years, we're going to see a much bigger awakening across the board where we're going to start to see, I think in the next 2 years or so, we're going to see a lot more death, a lot more chaos. But in the next 3 years or so after that, we'll start to see a cleaner air. And in the process of those 2 years of chaos, we're going to see those pockets of peace starting to rise up where people are just tired of all of the death. They're tired of all of the nonsense. They're tired of beefing. Humans, we're going to naturally do it. We're going to naturally conflict on something. But the stuff that we've just been autonomously conflicting about is starting to not be seen the same way by people.
Yeah.
People are more open to thought than they've ever have been, even though they're more shut down in certain ways. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the breadcrumbs are there for this awakening that we need. Like we talked about going back to a golden age. I think that in these next 5 years, we'll see the energy start to pick up more to where we need to be again as humans.
Man, I hope so. I hope so. The rough patch before that hits doesn't sound great, but if we can get to a point, if we can all make it through and get to a more peaceful, better overall society, I guess it's worth it. Because
I think, yeah, I agree. I think the final thought for me is just people understand that you cannot have peace without a fight.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing we get told so much. Just peace, 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 peace.
That's the push-pull, right?
Yeah, there's never been any society that has ever reached high levels of power that didn't have to fight for it. So if our society that we're trying to create is one of peace, is that not worth fighting for?
If it's not, I don't know what is.
Hey, man.
Shit, all right. I like it. We're going to unpack that more. Maybe the next episode we can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Man. But until next time.
Yeah.